Namaskar, good morning. This is Engineer Suraj Singh, IAE Fellow, Chartered Engineer, Professional Engineer International, Structural and Civil Engineer. Namaskar to everybody, good morning. Constitution of India-Bharat, Constitution of India-Bharat or the Savidhaan. Long discussion. Time is very critical now. We are on a crossroad. This nation is standing at a crossroad which goes to some non happy or unhappy or unbecoming destination, and we people of Bharat have to protect ourselves from this misadventure which has been happening for few days. That has to go, which is not in national interest, and we have to see that it doesn't work successfully. Constitution of India, which is our soul, which is our body and soul, letter in the spirit, our destiny for 70 years, which has been, and we are very critical of that. In a way, we should be more critical to protect this holy book of this country, which is we people of this country, we people of Bharat, we people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute our nation, Bharat, India, into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens, justice of society, justice of social, economic, and political values, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship values, and equality of status and of opportunity values, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring dignity of each individual and unity and integrity of nation, which was declared and approved and signed and adopted by public virtually on 26 November 1949 in our Constituent Assembly of Bharat, India at that time, and we adopted this constitution, enacted this constitution, and gave it to ourselves for purpose of implementation. This is, can say, not an easy document because there are securities in this. Maybe people are not analyzing this. It simply says secure to all its citizens. If you go to that after parameters of the characters and criteria of sovereign socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens. Secure is a question mark. It's not some verb, it's not something, it's an order. It's a guarantee, warranty for a decision by this constitution, government, and union of this nation that you have security of justice, liberty, and equality, and thereby it promotes the fraternity among our people. It is very important to understand. Now, very current problem is Article 370, State of Jammu and Kashmir, and Constitutional Order 1948. These have been taken up in burning and boiling water by current political situation, which this government, current government of EVM PM Modi, has taken this country into a turbulent atmosphere, very high degree of turbulence in atmosphere of this country at current level, which shall be hit by international questions, and that is very serious issue which we have to understand first before either appreciating it or depreciating it, before supporting this government or dissupporting this government or opposing this government. We people of this country, apart from political spectrum, have to understand what we are clapping for or what we are serious about or what we should do. That is very important. First of all, we have to go back to 1947, which year we were freed from British clutches. We got Independence Act under India Independence Act 1947, in which our country existing that time, which was known as India, bifurcated into two dominions, by by UK British Parliament. One was India and other was Pakistan. If you go and see or browse this Act, India Independence Act 1947, you will find appointed day was 15th August 1947 for both nations to be commissioned as independent nations, from which date there was no liability or responsibility or obligation left over to British government, or which was so-called British India. British left that day. British relieved itself from those responsibilities from 15th of August 1947. That was very critical day. Following up, there were many issues that, according to all 500 or 450 princely states in that portion of India and Pakistan, which were mandated to be amalgamated either into Pakistan or into India according to that act. There was no obligation on part of Congress people anyway, that they did some obligation, or as this government called, Patel did this or Gandhi did not, whatever it is, this all misconception. It was a mandatory requirement according to India Independence Act 1947 that all these states were to be merged into either this country, Bharat, India, or to that country, Pakistan, which was an option for each and every state what to do either of these amalgamation. It usually happened that JNK was one of those states, princely states, you can say. It was a new country, you can say at that time for us. It was a country, in fact. And this portion of JNK, they never intended either to join Pakistan or to join India according to this law, India Independence Act 1947. This Hari Singh, that king in that time, Maharaja Hari Singh, reached England to request British people, British king, that he didn't want that his state JNK should remain either with Pakistan or with Bharat, but he was rebutted and told by UK that you have no option. We cannot grant you another statute for your independence. In your interest it lies you have to do either of these states to join with. It's up to you. There's complete denial. Hari Singh was back. He had no option what to do, what not to do. One time he had returned to Pakistan for succession, but he did not confirm that. But after that, what happened? That there was some attack on JNK from Pakistan people, Kawalis, and he was horrified. He did not have any option. He had no army with JNK to protect integrity of that state, to protect attacks from these Kawalis, and women were raped, shops were looted, houses were looted, and this man was in problem, was in under a stress that he had no solution to that. There was nothing with him. He didn't he didn't decide anything except that I should write to government of Bharat, India, for joining them. He contacted Mountbatten about this issue, that protect me from this attack on behalf of Pakistan. These soldiers were not there, but Kawalis were there. And Lord Mountbatten, uh, explicitly, with advice of Jawaharlal and Patel, refused to extend any support by defense to Pakistan, by defense to Jammu and Kashmir. They said, you are not a part of this country, you are a foreign land, you are another entity according to your charter. Therefore, we have no right, and you have no right that we should help you until you become a part of our country. In that response, King said that I have already sent a messenger to you with instrument of accession to India and not to Pakistan. Consequent upon which Mountbatten said, okay, if you have done that, I will do what you want, what you seek, what you aspire, will help you if it is a fact. That way, Mountbatten and our ministers, prime ministers, or you can say Patel, deputy prime minister, they agreed, and forces were deployed to Pakistan. Meanwhile, Hari Singh had instructed his secretary, first secretary, that I have sent instrument of accession to Lord Mountbatten, and in case by next morning forces from Bharat do not come to Pakistan area, to JNK area, to fight, to encounter those Kawalis, do not ask me anything for instruction. During my sleep, you shoot me because I don't want to see next morning same scenes. And this was clear instruction to First Secretary of King Hari Singh. This is history. Facts, you can see related factual documentaries available on the internet. It's not my own declaration, it's not my own submission. This is a historical fact that instrument of accession was sent to Lord Mountbatten and our people, which reads as follows. For your information, first I will read that because that is very, very significant instrument of accession and equivalent to constitution of that state, and that was taken as a part of constitution of our Bharat. And you first understand what its content state, because without having clear knowledge about this you cannot think or decide about any issue. And that instrument accession I will read for you so that you get a knowledge of that. Instrument of, I read it now for you. Instrument of accession of Jammu and Kashmir. Whereas yeah, yeah. Whereas Indian Independence Act 1947 provides that as from 15th day of August 1947 there shall be set up as independent dominion known as India, and that Government of India Act 1935 shall, with such omission, additions, adaptations and modifications as Governor General may by order specify, be applicable to Dominion of India. And whereas Government of India Act 1935 as so adopted by Governor General provides that an Indian state may accede to Dominion of India by an instrument of accession executed by ruler thereof. Now, therefore, point number one, I, Shriman Indra Mahendra Raj Rajeshwar Maharajadhiraj Shri Hari Singh Ji, ruler of Jammu and Kashmir, in exercise of my sovereignty in and over my said state, do hereby execute this my instrument of accession, and I hereby declare, this is subpoint number one, I hereby declare that I accede to Dominion of India with intent that Governor General of India, Dominion Legislature, Federal Court, and any other Dominion authority established for purposes of Dominion shall, by virtue of this my instrument of accession, but subject always to terms therefore, and for purpose only of dominion exercise in relation to state of Jammu and Kashmir, hereinafter referred to as this state. Such functions may be vested in them by under by or under Government of India Act 1935 as in force in Dominion of India on 15th day of August 1947, which act as which act has so in force is hereinafter referred to as Act. Number two, I hereby assume obligation of ensuring that due effect is given to provision of Act within this state as they are applicable therein by virtue of this my instrument of accession. 3. I accept matters specified in schedules have hereto as matters with respect to which Dominion legislature may make laws for this state. Next four, I hereby declare that I accede to Dominion of India on assurance that if an agreement is made between Governor General and ruler of this state where by any functions in relations to administration in this state of any law of dominion legislature shall be exercised by ruler of this state. Then any such agreement shall be deemed to form part of this instrument and shall be construed and have effect accordingly. 5. Terms of this my instrument of accession shall not be varied by any amendment of Act or of Indian Independence Act 1947 unless such amendment is accepted by me by any instrument supplementary to this instrument. 6. Nothing in this instrument shall empower Dominion legislature to make any law for this state authorizing compulsory acquisition of land for any purpose. But I hereby undertake that should Dominion for purpose of Dominion law which applies in this state deem it necessary to acquire any land, I will at their request acquire land at their expense, or if land belongs to me, transfer it to them on such terms as may be agreed or in default of agreement determined by an arbitrator to be appointed by Chief Justice of India. 7. Nothing in this instrument shall be deemed to be a commitment in any way. Nothing in this instrument shall be deemed to be a commitment in any way as to acceptance of any future constitution of India. I repeat again. Nothing in this instrument shall be deemed to be a commitment in any way as to acceptance of any future constitution of India or to fetter my discretion to enter into arrangement with Government of India under any such future constitution. Next, if nothing in this instrument affects continuance of sovereignty, my sovereignty in and over this state, or save as provided by or under this instrument, exercise of any powers, authority, and rights now enjoyed by me as ruler of this state, or validity of any law at present in force in this state. 9. I hereby declare that I execute this instrument on behalf of this state and that any reference in this instrument to me or to ruler of state this state is to be construed as including a reference to my heirs and successors. Given under my hand this 26th day of October 1947. Signature Hari Singh, Maharaja Dhiraj of Jammu and Kashmir. I do hereby accept this instrument of accession dated this 27th day of October 1947. Signature Mountbatten of Burma, Governor General of India, 27th October 1947. This was acceptance letter. Then schedule. Acceptance letter. Then is schedule. Let us see schedule. Matters with respect to which Dominion legislature may make laws for state. That is number one. A. Defense. Then external affairs. Then communications, and that is ancillary. There are four paragraphs in this. Defense. Naval, military, and air forces of Dominion and other armed forces raised or maintained by Dominion. Any armed forces, including forces raised or maintained by an exceeding state, which are attached to or operating with armed forces of Dominion. 2. Naval, military, and air force works administration of cantonment, whereas arms, firearms, and ammunitions, explosives. B. External affairs. This was one which was defense. A. Now B is external affairs. Means this he exempted from his powers, and these he allowed India-Bharat to use them for its own affairs and enact them whatever legislation was required. External affairs. External affairs, implementing of treaties and agreements with other countries, extraditions including surrender of criminals and accused persons to parts of His Majesty's dominion outside India. Number two, admission into and emigration and expulsion from India, including in relation thereto regulations of movements in India of persons who are not British subjects domiciled in India or subjects of any exceeding state pilgrims to places beyond India. 3. Neutralization. Communications, and then there is communications. I Number one, post and telegraphs, including telephones, wireless, broadcasting, and other like forms of communications. Number two, Federal Railways regulation of all railways other than minor railways in respect of safety, maximum and minimum rates and fares. Rates and fares, station and service terminal charges, interchange of traffic and responsibility of administration of such on railways as carriers of goods and passengers, regulating minor railways in respect of safety, responsibility of administration of such railways as carriers of goods and passengers. Number three, maritime shipping and navigation, including shipping and navigation on tidal waters, admiralty jurisdiction, port quarantine, then major ports, that is to say, declaration and delimitation of such ports, and constitution and powers of port authorities therein, aircraft and air navigation, provision of aerodromes, regulation and organization of air traffic and aerodromes. Then lighthouse, including light ships, beacons and other provisions for safety of shipment and aircraft. Carriage of passengers and goods by seas or by air. Extension of powers and jurisdiction of members of police, force belonging to any unit to railway area outside unit. D. Ancillary elections to Dominion legislatures subject to provisions of Act and of any order made thereunder. 2. Offences against laws with respect to any of said matters. 3. Inquiries and statistics for purpose of any of aforesaid matters. Jurisdictional powers. Jurisdiction and powers of all courts with respect to any of any of aforesaid matters but except with consent of ruler of exceeding state, not so as to confer any jurisdiction or powers upon any courts other than courts ordinarily exercising jurisdiction in or relation to this state. Then this is I think I'm missing something. No problem. Main points I have told you. This is very important part that we have to understand. Instrument of accession. I have spoken to you by reading that document, which is very clear, very explicit, leaving no doubt, no ambiguity. We have to take into our consideration while conferring on whatever has been happening yesterday, the before yesterday, today, and shall happen. Because we cannot say laughing is answer or anger is answer. Remember saying an intelligent friend, an intelligent enemy is better than a foolish friend. Intelligent enemy or opposer is far better than a duffer, a stupid and useless mind friend. Because duffer and useless friend would say yes to everything you speak or right, wrong, whatever. Whereas enemy who is an intelligent shall keep you warning about consequences. So who is better? Who can tell you that you have to protect yourself, or who can tell yes sir, whatever you say right sir, whatever you say right says yes ma'am. Or you can say flatterer, or you can say spoon, whatever you call in your language. I will not specifically tell about that. They are saying Article 370 has gone from Constitution of this country. They are not understanding that Article 370 is not an independent article in relation to Kashmir and Jammu and Kashmir. It's not an independent article. This article is related to instrument of accession, and instrument of accession is related to independence of this country, India, Bharat. So there is a sequence. There is also a resolution, UNO resolution. What happened that time? You must also know that when this instrument was signed, we supported, we fought with Pakistan because this was a part, then our part, we had to support it. We got some area, there was fierce fighting going on in those days, and we could not get further. So Mountbatten said we will not be able to control and contain what's going on, and whatever we have captured. Mountbatten decided before accepting this instrument of accession, because Mountbatten was responsible and obliged to grant approval to such type of documents or requests, because Mountbatten was an authorized person on behalf of government of this country during transition of power stage. There was a question that this is instrument accession, which is conditional one, and this is not a permanent merger with our country. This was a good question, but there was no time gap at that time how to resolve this, and war was to be stopped. They could not control war as well because they got something and lost something. They decided to better have a Caesar, can say cease war, and ceasefire was not significant at that time for Pakistan. Pakistan wanted to continue this through its Kabalis. Then decision was made. Jawaharlal was sent to UNO Security Council, UNO, where Pakistan was also available. And Pakistan had already convinced United States and England that Pakistan was right and India was not right. Pakistan convinced US and UK that our country was wrong, and this was accepted by UN Security Council and conference based on conferences and all reasons and evidences whatsoever were available at that time. Resolution was passed that a referendum was to be made, was to be conducted, so that wishes of people of Jammu and Kashmir, like wishes from other states, were taken, must be taken, so that its people, Jammu and Kashmir residents, must give consent that Jammu and state accedes to Bharat. UN approved this resolution, giving powers of referendum to people of that state, and responsibility was given to Bharat regarding administration of referendum. Pakistan was also a party in that, and main thing was that there shall be UNO observer, and under surveillance of UNO, this referendum had to be conducted. Withdrawal of forces existing at that time had to be effected with, but this did not happen in fact. And these people continued, and where they go that after that, that is another issue. My only contention to talk about this instrument of accession is you have to see contents of instrument of accession, which is very very important. It says that it exceeds to India with conditions, and conditions are there. No referendum was made up to that time, not conducted. It had to be conducted, and it was left for future to conduct referendum from people of Jammu and Kashmir. Very easy. It continued. It happened. Everything was okay. Pakistan was separate. We were separate. But JNK was part of India conditionally on basis of instrument of accession, and not a merger. Merger was to be conducted later, which could not happen due to various reasons. And to help it, let Kashmir stay, JNK stay with our country, Bharat, a constitutional article was required, and an order was required for inclusion into Bharat as temporary member or temporary part, you can say. So, a decision was made that a constitutional order was released for this purpose, and that is still a part of Constitution of Bharat. You can see that there is nothing separate, but a part of this body, our body. And in those days, those who are talking now about special status withdrawal and 370 withdrawal and 35, they are all ignorant, including Prime Minister and Home Minister and our Excellency also. They know there are some illegality and illegalities involved to dominate this matter, but keeping in view public sentiments and public votes, they are just doing legality or illegality irrespective of that. The state of Jammu and Kashmir, according to instrument of accession, is not an integral part of this country 100%. You may differ with me. You have liberty, no problem. It is my opinion, my expression of thought that instrument of accession is not a merger document. It does not state that I am exclusive part, integrated part of this country, but it says about future constitution of Bharat, India, that under condition that I am not bound, JNK is not bound to accept Constitution of India that will be composed, that will be produced and approved in future. That time Constitution not ready. It was in stage of writing. This means it's up to Kashmir and Kashmir people, JNK people, that whether to accept Constitution of Bharat or not to accept Constitution of Bharat. So what was decided to save time and to save this spread, not to follow all the states and people start with each other. Best was what has been done. Resolution of Security Council, Instrument Accession, Constitutional Order 48, Article 370, all and similar agreement. Similar agreement is very important document, but now problem is different. Similar agreement was perfected upon between Indira Gandhi, then Prime Minister in 1971-72, and Bhutto, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto of Pakistan Prime Minister. Pakistan Prime Minister. They had a meeting post-war in Shimla, and they reached this agreement that in future, whatever disputes occur between these both countries, Pakistan and Bharat, we shall not involve any other party, any other person or nation, but resolve whatever disputes between those two nations happen, we'll do ourselves by talks, by political involvement, or by diplomacy. This was major decision. Some people are there who don't have enough knowledge, who don't understand legalities, who don't have any evidence knowledge. They say Indira Gandhi did wrong. Indira Gandhi should have blackmailed them, negotiated with them, that these 90,000 prisoners we shall leave only, and we shall return your land only when you accept this and that. What we were to accept, even they don't know. They only to speak for sake of speaking, for sake of writing, just for purpose of argument. But reality is different. Of course, CNK was ours, but not absolutely ours. There are conditions that they had different status, they had different powers, and this instrument of accession, which is not general one, which is specific and high power. Constitutional Assembly was there for this purpose. Constitutional Assembly remained there. They decided something, they accepted something about 372, 370 and related issues. And it is also written in our constitution that until Constitutional Assembly accepts something or approves something or takes down something, this has been voiced this, that whatever we say, we accept that. Jammu and Kashmir state, first of all, is partly and conditionally ours. They say we access to you, not merge with you. And these are conditions. You have to do these items, you help yourself, but let us do ourselves also. Means your parliament got no authority over those issues which do not relate to those four items. And these legislations and whatever implementation controls on all parts and all related ministries, we will conduct ourselves. This is clear and this cannot be denied. Then it remains war or no war. Yes, of course, when you say that situation arises, that there is war or no war, we have to presume that there shall be war based on this. And war is, I'm not talking of hot pursuit, I'm talking of other wars. It's a different type of war. Instrument accession is there, Article 370 is there, and you can say Shimla agreement is there, and now this new arrangement is there. Question is, we have to coordinate these all themselves. Let's just talk about instrument again, instrument accession. It says that this nation, CNK, according to that, this nation cannot be changed. This values cannot be changed. Whatever is happening there is not our business. But that's not acceptable. Article 370, instrument accession, and whatever new resolutions. We kept US resolution silent for 72 years. It was a sleeping like Kumbhakarna because of policies adopted by Congress, which are very good policies to an extent. The state of J&K is concerned. They understood very well what plus and minuses can happen if we touch this case. So they decided better keep smooth, keep normal and low profile. Let them live peacefully in this country and let that resolution die its death automatically, gradually, without any provocation. They has intellectual in their governments, and they knew what can happen or cannot happen. So they followed this policy. And what we followed? We followed policy of senseless talk, senseless discussion, senseless understanding, and current regime is very, very senseless without having any analysis of all these documents, without having any impression at interest level of what is speaking, who is speaking. That is different. If I am speaking to my sister, suppose I am speaking to my family, I have to understand what I am speaking. Here, nobody is understanding anything. This emotional conduct by this government towards public of this country is being emotionalized, this country is being sentimentalized, this country is being swayed under the impression that oh, Article 370 has gone. They don't understand. Article 370 has gone, or whatever has gone. In fact, instrument of accession has gone. Instrument of accession has gone because of what this government did. Unfortunately, if instrument of accession goes, what do you think meaning is? What do you think meaning is? Meaning is instrument accession has been made thrown away. There is no accession now. If there is no accession, there is no government. To whom we report? To whom we are G&K and we deal with. Accession goes means big problem. They came using accession. You are saying you don't accept this 370. This means you don't accept instrument of accession. And if you don't accept instrument of accession, this means there is no value of that instrument, and this J&K virtually has automatically gone out of Bharat controls. Got it? No. Instrument of accession and 370 are linked. You cannot say this is separate, this is separate. They came on their own. Whatever reason was there, now that reason has no value. They came onto our country by their own. They said that they said at the time that referendum shall be conducted, like a referendum conducted in all the states. But still now, there is no real news on this, no knowledge of cases, only readable. Now situation is different. We are very proudly saying we have changed the state, we have reduced their status to union territory. But you have to say, is it practically possible? Is it, you can say, is it right in democracy, in democratic rules, parliament democracy is right? No. First of all, J&K state is not our perfect domicile. You say Article 37 is gone, and J&K construes or interprets that now our article is over, we access to India, Bharat. Now this is over, after accession is over, this means we have come out of this country, Bharat, right? So J&K is an area where people from other countries came and stayed there, right or not? And you have taken the article of accession, instrument of accession, and you want crops from that state, fruits from that state, when we give way to that English people, you know, What happens? People of JNK can think also. Don't think that they are not having minds. You put Amar and Madhav in jail under house arrest. What was requirement of that? You went on all Kashmir by military, heavy military. Was it required? Why did you not consult people of JNK? Why did you not consult public of Bharat? Why did you not consult opposition leaders? Why did you not do this? Okay, forget opposition leader, forget people of this country, but those who are party, who are stakeholders, that is people of Jammu and Kashmir, because agreement was made by them on behalf of Jammu and Kashmir, and that Raja is not available now. So only evidences speak. What will do then? If suppose these people under pressure from some other country and some other reasons declare that now we are out of this country, this Pakistan shall not help us, only India can help us. What you have stored with you? What I'm saying is horrific is I'm talking about. It may not be, it may not please you, but it's a fact. It's a fact and it's a fact. You cannot take it for granted. You have to think on that. You see, I am an engineer, and particularly civil and structural engineer. Whatever we work in our field, in our profession, we don't work based on emotions. For example, we have to design some building, we have to consider use of building, we have to consider soil strength, soil parameters, we have to consider location of that building, which area, what is weather, and what are previous records. What is what is rain, how much rain, all these records, what is the speed of wind, all this we have to take into our consideration while preliminary designing some building or other structure. Then we are given a plan or we make plan ourselves, architectural plan or whatever you want to call it. Then we are given land uses or area uses of that building. This is land use and this is various room. For example, drawing room is there, or living room is there, or a special room is there, or you can say your bags for vegetable all are there. And we have to call them, discuss with them. When we call people and teach them, same thing happens. When you take building into consideration, we check how much load is coming on a slab, how much load shall go to column. And loads are not direct loads only, they are direct loads, live load, there are, you can say, dead load, or you can say there is wind load, there is horizontal load, there is fire on structure, there is seismic action, earthquake action. Many factors are there which we consider into our analysis. That is called analysis, theory of structure, and then after that we do design of structures. So analysis and applications of result, two issues are there. First we analyze, then we find what is best for that analysis and convert it to design of RCC or structural steel, whatever is that building made of. Same thing happens to life. If I say no, I have done this, you just do it, and I did it foolishly, why should someone else? If I do something, I do think about this can be practically applicable or cannot be applicable for. This is very important. And this doesn't apply only in engineering. This applies everywhere in a whole life. Analysis is very significant before reaching any solution. And if you reach any solution without doing analysis, conduct analysis, then you become BJP. Yes, BJP is such party which has no initiative and no mental power to contemplate upon such kind of you can say application of such analysis and a mind, you can say an application of mind. So why are we so rudely acting? Why are we so acting in very irresponsible way? A provision that has been there on books for 72 years, why you are just throwing this break, this provisional break, this provisional hammering immediately in one day, and you are creating panic, and you say a bomb attack on nation as well as on other nations. Why do you want to do that? What is reason? Why this was not discussed with opposition parties? Why this issue was not discussed with JNK people? Why this issue was not discussed with all those who are stakeholders? Why you did not discuss this? Is this not a question? It is a very good question that we have to know about that. When you are waiting for buses to come for the students, you are waiting for cars to come for the students, you are doing everything, everything. Now, one critical issue that comes to my mind is stakeholder on this issue. We are, as nation, Kashmir people are, Jammu and Kashmir people are as affected party, involved party on that agreement. On that agreement, or you can say on that instrument of accession, there are Hari Singh on behalf of JNK party and we Bharat as party. Two parties agreement, bipartite agreement. If that is there, both are bound to comply with instrument of accession. We and they have to comply with. But if you withdraw those powers from that, based on which they are our contract, we are both contracted people. We are both on contracts, on charter contract, which empowered by both parties, and we miss that law line. What shall be result of that effect? Why you did not discuss with them ultimately? Are they not your people? Jammu and Kashmir people are enemies to you? You think so? You cannot discuss with them? This is their case. This is not our case. They access to us. They had some conditions. Why you don't want to discuss with them? Are they Pakistanis or are they not our country people? Yes, they have done mistakes. We agree. But it doesn't mean you kill them immediately. There is something happening due to some reason. So this means you kill everybody. Why this action? People of Jammu and Kashmir must be very unpleased, and this is justified as well. This is logical to be called as such. But they have no personal intimacy with them, no personal values with them. Jammu people and Kashmir people, you have broken this state. You have withdrawn from them their political value, their constitutional value of being a state, which was once a kingdom, now it's a democratic state, and you have also broken that into a democratic state where would be no value with government and state. Virtually this was happening under crisis management of coming India. We can now go immediately with that consideration. Now Pakistan also, which is we consider our enemy, though there is no enmity as such, except this issue of Jammu and Kashmir. What enmity we have and why we consider that that country is our enemy. Of course, they are a country now. You cannot deny that fact. But other than this issue, is there some other issue? Tell me, is there some issue? On one issue, you become enemy to other state, and they become enemy to us. Both are reciprocally making themselves enemies. That person, Pakistan, of course, would act against us all days. Now specifically, this has happened. They will raise voices. They'll go to UN. They'll go to OIC. They'll go to many other bodies which would say, yes, you're right. Nothing else is wrong. Pakistan should raise voice because now Pakistan shall become a lion against us because we have done something which was not expected in world. It's not expected. Our government did it for sake of public happiness. The public should be with us because there's a question of EVM has been risen for many now for many months. EVM question, RTI question, and many more questions. Doctors question. There are many more questions. Problem of doctors, problem RTI, and problem of EVM and defamation this government has been getting from elections 2019. People are not happy with such decision because this person, this government is going to print posters against humans. This will continue. We will not be supported by anyone. Arab will not support us. UK will not support us. Far East will not support us. And probably US will not support us. We will be supported by Israel only. Only Israel. No other reason. Because Israel is happy with this. Just like they think it's Palestine, they don't like. Similarly now JNK for them is Palestine. And they are happy that okay, let them be happy because he is happy to with Modi. But that is no solution. There's no solution. Solution you have to find yourself, and you should have found it before doing all this. You have impacted upon people of Jammu and Kashmir, which was not required. You arrested those ex-chief ministers, past chief minister for what? You have tacitly declared to world that we can go to this extent as well. This means you have been doing something against people of that also, people that nation, that state also. If instrument of accession is annulled, instrument of accession is annulled, void, said void. This means that power from Bharat has gone out. You cannot say that because they have declared themselves, they have to go. You cannot say that. Now let's take example. By interactive means, these people of Jammu and Kashmir, if they come to a conclusion that because accession has gone, instrument accession is gone out of Parliament levelly and out of Parliament. What is purpose of having the government? So the government will sit on an office. They may say, because access has gone, we are now part of this country, Bharat now, because our accession has been annulled. We revise that and declare that we are experts and we are not, and we change that. Now they may say, Bharat has cheated us. Why should we be cheated? They may say, not say, they may think. And if they say, since we are not in Bharat, they may say, I'm not saying, if we are not in Bharat, why we should worry about Bharat? When Bharat is not for our good, why we should worry about them? And moreover, this is our land, Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir, and we have right on this land. And since Article 370 and instrument accession have been badly affected, virtually gone out, this land belongs to us without any restriction. And we declare ourselves independent state. Then what shall you do? No one can say to them, why will you do it? Oh, listen. We have to analyze this point. We read sciences, we read physics, chemistry, and everything is such we study. But such a small issue we cannot understand. That is what is difficult. If they come to a conclusion that they will go to UNO and they will seek help from Pakistan, they can say anything. One a party is aggrieved and suffers. That suffers shall find any source from where one gets relief, and this is what is happening now. We have to contemplate all these points before taking such decisions. What can happen, what cannot happen, this is merit, this is demerit, this is right, this is wrong, and based on which we have to consult with all our colleagues like MPs, other MPs, other parties, and foreign colleagues if so required. We did not conduct that one. We did not do that. We have given our hands to Pakistan. Oh, Mr. Imran, Pakistan, take my solution. I am giving the solution. You are crying for talks. No need of talks now. You are crying for talks. You are crying for this and that. I am giving you indirectly. You take it. That Pakistan used to speak very mildly, very secretly. Now opened yesterday. We will support the JMK. We will see, from each and every aspect, from each and every point, we will help them. We will go to every forum of world and talk about this issue and force referendum approved by United Nations in 1947. 48. No country has any abetted Pakistan because Pakistan has been in fact. That is very significant point of view which we must have considered. Prime Minister and Amit Shah, Home Minister and Excellency all had to consider this before approving this resolution. Pakistan is not your friend, you say. Pakistan has access to US. Pakistan has good access to whole UAE. Pakistan has no benefits in my life. Why should I not think it before? Pakistan is now telling to UN, Pakistan telling to OIC, and Pakistan shall tell on each and every forum wherever it gets opportunity about this issue. And nobody will say India is right. People will say India is wrong. People are saying, not me saying. Therefore, what should be done? Situation is now broken. On on 5th August 5th August 2019, 5th August 2019, a smooth situation has broken to a rough situation. A smooth surface has been roughened by certain politicians for sake of votes. Yes, you may get votes indeed, because people are sentimental. People do not analyze. People do not respect. They just have sentimental answers. And they clap. And they have been clapping. It doesn't make a difference. There is nothing that should be clapped for what. I don't understand what has been done. They are clapping with. They are clapping for bad time of this country in future. There could be war. There could be hot pursuit, which is feasible now. Till yesterday, it was not there. Till yesterday, there was no threat from someone to our country. But now, there is something else. Even if you want to talk now, you have cut away. You have broken your signs of waves and signs of peace because state of Jammu and Kashmir, which you call now Union Territory, these subjects do not trust you. And when there is no trust, there is always rust. Believe me. You have rusted relations between our country and other countries and with people of Pakistan. That was very good relations. Congress had generated in 70 years such an atmosphere which was gradually taking these people, attracting these people towards our country gradually, because those people are sufferers. They were gradually since 1947 trying to come to our country and stay there forever. But you stop that also. Now, international community will not bother about you because you are going on the real tracks. You are not accepting them. There is a big risk. Better think again, and think again. I'm not saying what Congress said. I'm not saying what other parties said. I am talking on behalf of myself and on behalf of those who listen to me, or, or those who are not listening to me as well. Who are listening or not listening is another issue. Problem is for everybody. Our problem is for all hundred, whatever number is there, billion is there. We don't have people. Therefore, before it is too late, before it is too late in a way that Pakistan get time and these people of JNK start doing some adverse effects on it was doing something adverse against our constitution or other issues because they are not bound by this constitution according to instrument of accession. They are not bound. It's clearly defined there as a condition. So if they are not bound by accession, by small accession, they are also not bound by instrument of India 20 rule. They are not bound by that. And why shall we? Hmm, situation is very horrible, because this portion of JNK is Chinese area at border, is Pakistan at border, very long border, and this was a good entry, good defense to ourselves. Amarnath is there, Vaishno Devi is there, many other shrines are there. Now let us assume, let us not say assume, just like in mathematics we do, in sciences, physics, chemistry we do. Let us assume people of Jammu and Kashmir till yesterday, day before yesterday, they were our people. According to their contemplation, they were part of this country. They had a belief in us. They trusted us, particularly before this government came to power. They were considering themselves to be a part of this country, our country, Bharat. They were not trusting someone else. They were not even trusting themselves because they knew they are not very powerful to have self rule. They don't have power, they know it. But now their school of thought is gone. If we are emotional, if our people are emotional, here, our youth are emotional, our others are emotional, and they are dancing and beating drums and all that, this is called childish response. What for you are being happy? What for? What you have achieved? Just a simple question. Why are you getting so excited on this issue about which you are not clear? Prime Minister is not clear, Home Minister is not clear, and President is not clear. Of course, they know it, but they are showing as if they have done very big issue which has broken all the facts conducted in 70 years. They don't tell what the facts. They don't tell what the facts. And they also don't know and they cannot explain. Only they have to defame someone and they have to defame Jawaharlal Nehru. They are not interested in defaming Sardar Patel or Mountbatten. They are only interested in defaming first Prime Minister of this country, that it is the pinpoint that this person was a problem for Bharat India. That is only a contemplation. It's just a policy to defame someone of ours. Congress. I'm not supporting Congress, but There are people, Prime Minister of this country he was. Cannot avoid that. These people never criticize British. Why? I saw 2 days back on Facebook a photograph where celebration of Victoria was being done by these Hindu people. You can say right-wing people. I don't know, Hindu Mahasabha, some was there. They were celebrating that and saying, "See, they saved us from Mughals." What? They said that British saved us from Mughal. What to say? What is definition of stupidity? Tell me, what is definition of fools? Is there some other definition of stupids and fools? This is definition of stupids and fools. That we have people today in this country who are RSS supported, who are BJP supported, who are all right with supported, and they praise and admire Queen Victoria, who liberated them from clutches of Mughals. Mughals, which they don't know, they themselves are Mughals. This RSS, what is RSS? They are pro-British, remember. They are, in fact, I think maybe not pro, they are from Britain. Maybe there's some crossbreed or something, there is somewhere. Their production of British blood, that is possible to say. Because British ruled for around 2 centuries or 1.5 century, and this is possible in that period. That these are breed of British. That is why they are doing that, possibly. I'm speaking very tough because toughness is required in this critical scenario that has been happening. Maybe young are not clear about this, youth are not clear, and even those who are not youth, who are seniors and veterans, they may not be clear about this. Until you have complete information with you, you cannot take decision on anything. Just laughing, just singing, just dancing, just playing doesn't mean that you are right. This means you are ill informed. Why one should be excited, which we don't know what is this about? Why should be excited? If I don't know something, I have to keep silent and wait what is right. I have to research papers on that. I have to find some backing of that. Only then I can understand. I posted this instrument session many times before, but people did not read it. Yesterday also I posted it. Today again I quoted that word by word, so that at least you should know. You support this motion, this resolution, or don't support. I am not interested to know about that. It is your individual choice. You are a citizen of this country, and I am also a citizen of it. I am not supporting or not supporting something else. I am analyzing only like a professional. I am just analyzing and telling you what my mind says. I am speaking to you that I'm not interested in supporting this or rejecting this, because that is not even if I support it or I reject, what matter does it make? What does it make? Nothing. They have passed in parliament, they have power, they do whatever they want, but they are doing only for sake of doing, just to show to society, let's see what we are doing. We are such a big people, we are such a understandable people that Congress did all mistakes and we are correcting those mistakes. That's all. That's all. One principle, one destination, one milestone, and they want to say we are nationals, we are national, and we are Desh people, and Congress is Desdrohi, and their opposition is Desdrohi. That's only an intention with this government and nothing else. They are neither interested in Kashmir, they are not interested in anything, they are only interested to defame someone. That's it. Signature was done by Mountbatten, not by Jawaharlal Nehru, but they say Nehru. Mountbatten sent Jawaharlal Nehru to UN. They don't say that. They say Nehru fired everything. Something is wrong, Nehru did. So everywhere Nehru did. They do not tell what they did. State Prime Minister or BJP or RSS or some others or their spoons, their supporters tell you sometimes what they did during independence. Okay, they were not in 1857, but what they did since 1925 to 1947. They are celebrating Deen Dayal Upadhyay. They are celebrating Savarkar. They are celebrating someone, and someone, but they are not telling what did they do. They are not telling what contribution these people delivered to us to support liberation movement. They did not tell something. There is no one from these people who sacrificed for this country's freedom. No one. But they are claiming they are patriots. Why are they claiming? They just want to defame someone so that people should not ask them what you did. Just like a boy or a person who keeps crying and crying and crying in work. You are not doing this and you are not doing this. You are wrong and you are wrong. Your work is wrong and you are. But he does nothing himself. Before someone points to you, better you speak against that one. This is a policy of a person who knows nothing. A person who knows something concrete, who wants to do something concrete, that person does it. That person does not speak or cry. But a person who knows nothing, who does nothing, he only points mistakes of others, errors of others, and fingers every time. This person is bad, this person is bad, this person is bad. I am good, don't ask me. A person, what my thinking is, a brilliant person, an efficient person who knows problem is there or past problem is there, somebody else did mistake, never shouts like that. That person analyzes that, and before analyzing he studies that, and then he tries to find solution to that, and then he applies that solutions, and he reaches to set right that problem and corrects that. That is called educated and professional person. Just shouting and crying does not mean profession, does not mean standard of a person. This means lowest grade of a person. Keep crying, he did that, Jawaharlal did that, Nehru responsible, Nehru died now. It doesn't exist. You are there. You are responsible. Gandhi did wrong, Nehru did wrong, Patel did right, Subhash did right. Why are you concerned with those people? They were not your people. You were different community. You were RSS. You were BJP or Janasangh. Those people belong to Congress or communist parties. You have nothing to do. You have no relation to communists. Bhagat Singh was communist. Subhas was communist. Nehru was Congress. Patel was Congress. Your people doesn't exist there. Your person was in jail for a few months and he was buried. He submitted apologies 9 times. And you are calling that person great. This means you have same parameters in you. You only want credit for nothing and debit to others for everything. Congress did bad, Congress did wrong. Yes, they did wrong. So, what to do? They did wrong, but you are not talking about those items they did right. You never accepted Nehru is responsible for freedom of this country along with other people. You never accept that. You never accepted Nehru was an architect for this India, modern mixed India. You never accepted Nehru started mixed economical policy. You never accept that. You only accept error. See, when a person works, errors are imminent. Without errors, you cannot work. You are a human being. Even computers make errors. You can see electrical bills of crores and crores of rupees where it should be only few thousands. Errors are there. We are human being. If I do 10 good items, I am bound to do one wrong. So what is that? After all, I did it. I take responsibility of that and correct that. But you are neither taking a responsibility, you are not taking liability, your credit is nil, but you want credit. I did this. That is called foolish standard. That is called rubbish person. That is called false statement. That is person is irresponsible, ineligible. That is what you people are. State of Jammu and Kashmir is some other problem. You are just breaking something to break it further so that it cannot be used. Or you are not understanding. Defragmentation is very easy. And then fragmentation is very difficult. You have defragmented something, and now you want fragment automatically. It's not possible. I am not saying that you understand everything. Maybe you know all because you are in power. Must be you have many consultants with you, many legal units with you. But everybody doesn't. Even advocates don't understand complete laws. Even judges don't understand complete laws. They have to refer when required. Supreme Court, you think knows everything? Never. Of course, every Supreme Court advocate passes an examination of Constitution. High Court also passes examination of Constitution. But passing an examination of 2 3 hours doesn't mean you know everything. I'm an engineer. I got education for many years and I worked in field for many. It doesn't know I know everything. No, I don't know everything. I know something of something, something of something. Maybe 5%, maybe 10%. I have many wide field in my discipline and profession. I don't know. I don't know bridges. I don't know railways. I don't know resources. I cannot know. I cannot work everywhere in this small life. Small life. How can? But I have mind to understand. That is important. If something happens, I can read that drawing. I can read that specification. I can understand that gravity is downwards, not upwards. Very simple. 2 plus 2 is 4 of engineering. So you have developed mind which can work according to requirement, and that is called education. Here, you may be knowing, but you are trying to say, no, I am right, that is wrong. We have done historical work. You have not done historical work. You have given help to Pakistan by this resolution. Now Pakistan is free from you, free of Bharat, you can say, conditions. Oh, they have done this. Now clearly Imran is saying, see what they have done. I want now in third party intervention of US. He's asking Trump, come on and help us. He is asking UN, see what we want referendum. He has already said. He has asked, appealed UN that referendum should be done. Means a Kumbhakaran has come up, a open. You have put water on Kumbhakaran and got him up and he is now standing. And what Kumbhakaran shall do, you know very well. It's only havoc. So you have given a silence. There was a silence for many years, and things were moving gradually into into our good future. But you have truncated that. You are thinking you are intelligent. Yes, you are keeping people happy indeed. Youth are happy, people happy, but they are happy because they are ignorant of facts. And that is the reason I want to disseminate this information to everybody, that be clear. Don't be excited, because excitement or excitement is always explosive. Don't be explosive. This is one day decision. This is long impact decision. This is go long way to impact us. And not, I don't know, maybe after 1 week they withdraw this. Who knows? Maybe next week these people withdraw. There's a pressure from overseas. There's a pressure otherwise from America, pressure from UNO, pressure with OIC, and pressure from Pakistan, and pressure. Maybe they are down again, which they take U-turn. Okay, we all take this wide and we don't consider this. And what to do in that case? Because they did not do anything. They just want to please voters. Elections may be coming, and the voters should remain with us. RTI, forget RTI, and forget doctor issues, and forget this issue and that issue, and let us divert attention. Who knows that? We should be careful. We should be matured people, even though we are young. It doesn't matter. We should understand these politicians and first understand what problem is. This is not one day problem. This is long pending problem. And it was better had it been, they should have talked to Pakistan. What was wrong with that? Now, what you achieved now? There's no need of talk now, because JNK people are not happy. Simple. They don't recognize you. You have broken them. You have broken their bodies. You have broken their souls. You have broken them completely. How shall they with you? Had they a degree of thought that we will go to Bharat if referendum is done, maybe, but now they will not do that. And you have forced Jammu and Kashmir that referendum be done because of your this stupid action. You have derailed whole settlement of this history. They have derailed all that. Now Pakistan has been benefited because they have open mind now, that there is no meaning of talking, there is no meaning of virtual similar agreement now, because you have already taken action. You have abolished 377 virtually. You have abolished your access of instrument of access. So nothing is left. There is no meaning at all. All disputes have been over from Pakistan side. Only you are a criminal nation now. You are the culprit nation now. You have to give back this Jammu and Kashmir to be independent for itself. This is conclusion that what Pakistan shall go to. Pakistan shall go in that direction. How can you stop Pakistan? Now you cannot say in world community, this is similar agreement, we are bipartite. No, you are not bipartite because you have taken one-side action. Had you involved Pakistan or you involved JNK, things would have been different. But you ignored all them. You can do anything in your home, no value. Your home whole actions are value only for home, not for other home. You can take any decision for your family, not for another's family. You have no right. If you want some decision be taken for other family, you have to consult their family and you have to sit with that family and decide. Only then both parties accept. Here one party in accession is Bharat, in one party in Bharat in our instrument of accession of the Jammu and Kashmir, and other party is JNK people, Hari Singh, people of Jammu and Kashmir. These are both stakeholders on JNK, but you have condemned other stakeholder who is original stakeholder. You have taken yourself a dominant stakeholder. Forget that I am deciding. No, you cannot decide. You cannot decide. Impossible. You have violated constitution of this country. You have violated natural principle, and you have violated humanity, and you have violated rights of others. You have violated, in fact, provisions of everything. You have done something which is not expected of a mature nation. Even Palestine is partly recognized by Israel, but you have gone beyond that. You have gone beyond that. It doesn't work. Believe me, you have done something which cannot be repaired. You have made losses virtually to our constitution, to our heights of standards, and you will understand only, or maybe you understand that you played with that, maybe just to please people of this country. See, I have done this against Article 370 and 350A, which was in demand of your voters or your people, and you satisfied them. If it is for satisfaction of them, this is very dangerous, very, very dangerous. All nations in the world know now that we have done this, not Pakistan. They will not blame Pakistan. You have arrested Omar, you arrested Mufti, and many more. What was need of that? But you did it because you wanted to show that we can do this. Communists did not do this. Your intention is not good. Well, I will not say something else more than this. It was required an explanation. I wanted to talk to you something about constitution in continuation, but yesterday's happened and I just came back to this one. This is more required. This is additionally required about issues. Constitution will continue. We will take that care continuously without any problem. But this was more important. That's why I did that. अब मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगा तो बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा. इतना ही कह सकता हूँ कि जो हुआ है अब तक जम्मू एंड कश्मीर के बारे में, वो एक दुखद कह सकता हूँ मैं उसको मैं एक समझदार सरकार द्वारा लिया फैसला नहीं कह सकता, क्योंकि इस फैसले के पीछे बहुत बड़ा हिस्ट्री है, बहुत लंबी चौड़ी हिस्ट्री है. 1947 से शुरू करें तो बहुत टाइम लगता है, जैसे मैंने अभी इंग्लिश में तुमको बताया. लेकिन अब ये हो चुका है, और ये हो चुका है तो अब ये ठीक भी नहीं किया जा सकता है. इसका नुकसान तो भारत को सहना पड़ेगा. उसको कोई आप सोचते रहिए कि बहुत अच्छा किया सरकार ने, मोदी ने बहुत अच्छा कर दिया, अमित शाह ने कर दिया. आपके सोचने से दुनिया नहीं चलती, आपके सोचने से भारत भी नहीं चलता है. आपका एक है कि आप वोट दे सकते हैं, इससे ज़्यादा आप भी कुछ नहीं कर सकते. और भारत सरकार भी इससे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकती उसने किया है, उससे ज़्यादा उनका भी हाथ नहीं है. हाँ, इसके अगेंस्ट अब उन्हें करना पड़ेगा आगे जाके, क्योंकि सारा विश्व इजराइल को छोड़ के इस बात के खिलाफ होगा पूरा अरब वर्ल्ड भारत का साथ नहीं देगा। अमेरिका तो चौधरी बनना चाहता है, वो वैसे आपका साथ दे नहीं पाएगा अगर चौधरी बनना है तो। अगर चौधरी बनना है तो न्यूट्रल उसको रहना पड़ेगा। पाकिस्तान तो पहले ही आप दुश्मन समझते हो। है कौन इस विषय पे जो आपके साथ आएगा? जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की पब्लिक भी आपसे नाराज हो चुकी होगी अब तक। तो आपके साथ देने वाला आप ही हैं, आप ही जज हैं, आप ही वकील हैं, आप ही सब कुछ हैं। आपने स्वयं ही ऐसे फैसला कर लिया कि हम ही जम्मू कश्मीर के ब्याह पे फैसला करेंगे, हम ही पाकिस्तान के ब्याह पे फैसला करेंगे, हम ही सबके ब्याह पे, यूनियनों के ब्याह पे भी हम फैसला करेंगे। आप भूल जाते हैं कि कानून कानून होता है, नियम नियम होता है। आप इस चीज़ को क्यों भूल जाते हैं? दुनिया में आप सबके मालिक नहीं हैं, आप सिर्फ अपने देश के मालिक हैं। तो उसी हिसाब से आपको फैसले लेने चाहिए थे, पर आपने नहीं समझा ऐसा उचित, आपने गलत समझा इस चीज़ को, और आपने वो फैसले ले लिए जो आपके नहीं लेने चाहिए थे। और आपने तो अपने अपने दोस्तों को, अपने अपने नेताओं को, अपनी पार्टियों को, दूसरे को, अपने लोगों को अपना नहीं समझा, तो आप बाकी को क्या समझेंगे? आपने ना तो किसी विरोधी से पूछा, ना किसी नेता से पूछा, ना देश की जनता से पूछा, किसी से आपने पूछा नहीं, और अपने आप ही सब कुछ कर लिया, और फिर आपने बताया कि हमने तो कोई फैसला ले लिया है। तो भाई ऐसे फैसले जो होते हैं, आप इसे तानाशाही कह लो या इसको कुछ भी आप कह लो, आपकी मर्जी, हमें उसमें कोई नाम नहीं देना है, लेकिन ये देश के लिए सही नहीं है। क्योंकि देश खाली आपकी पार्टी का नहीं है, देश खाली मोदी और अमित शाह का नहीं है। देश में 140 करोड़ लोग रहते हैं, जो शायद वो दोनों भूल गए कि वो दो सोचते हैं हम दो ही हैं और हमारी पार्टी है बस, बाकी देश में कोई नहीं है। देश और भी है, और देश के आप मालिक बनना चाहते हैं लेकिन बन नहीं पाएंगे। इस तरह से मालिक नहीं बनते। मालिक हमेशा बनते हैं सपोर्टिंग सिस्टम से, कंस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क से। आप कंस्ट्रक्टिव वर्क नहीं कर रहे, आप तो तोड़ने वाला काम कर रहे हैं। अगर ये प्रॉब्लम बढ़ती जाती है आगे, अगर आपने डैमेज कंट्रोल अभी नहीं किया फटाफट इसको, आपने जम्मू एंड कश्मीर की जनता को शांत नहीं किया, जो कि वो होने वाली नहीं है, लगता नहीं है मुझे कि होगी, क्योंकि वो समझ चुके हैं कि आप लोग उनका साथ नहीं दे सकते हो। एक विश्वास था उनको 1947 से आज तक, वो जानते थे चलो कोई बात नहीं है, हम पाकिस्तान नहीं गए, भारत में है, अच्छी बात है, एक अच्छा देश है, बड़ा देश है, हमारी सपोर्ट करेगा, हमको काम धंधा सब मिलेगा, और आराम से रह रहे थे। लेकिन अब उन्हें विश्वास ही नहीं रहेगा आपकी बात पे, क्योंकि आप तो अगर एक लिखित को नहीं मानते हैं, एक लिखी हुई चीज़ को नहीं मानते हैं, उसको फाड़ देते हैं, फेंक देते हैं, तो विश्वास बात का क्या? वो आप पे विश्वास क्यों करेंगे? वो तो साफ कहते हैं इन पे यकीन नहीं कर सकते। अभी तक करते थे वो, अभी तक शायद 80-90% लोग आपके साथ रहना चाहते थे। जबरदस्ती तो आप रख नहीं सकते किसी को, कितना दिन रख लेंगे? लोग विश्वास पे चलते हैं, देश विश्वास पे, पब्लिक विश्वास पे चलती है। पब्लिक आपको विश्वास करती है तो आपको वोट देती है, नहीं विश्वास करेगी तो वोट आपको नहीं देगी। बेशक आप ईवीएम से जीत जाए वो अलग बात है, मैं उसके बारे में नहीं कहूँगा, क्योंकि जीते तो आप ईवीएम से ही हैं। लेकिन आप क्या समझते हैं कि आपने भारत को अपना, आप भारत के स्वामी हो गए हैं, आप ये सोच बैठे? ऐसा नहीं। आपने भारत को एक ऐसी अग्निकांड में कल धकेला है, कश्मीर के, जम्मू के बारे में, इस अग्निकांड से बाहर लाने के लिए आपके पास फायर ब्रिगेड भी नहीं मिलेगी। वो इतनी भयंकर आग है कि उसका तापमान इतना है, उसकी आग की शक्ति इतनी है कि आपके पास फायर ब्रिगेड के पास उसको बुझाने का पानी या जरूरत पड़े केमिकल भी नहीं होगा, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड भी नहीं होगी उसको बुझाने के लिए। दुख की बात है। आपको ऐसे फैसले जो बहुत सोच के लेने चाहिए थे, आपने बॉम्ब फेंकने की तरह ले लिए, और बॉम्ब तो एक्सप्लोजन करता है, विस्फोट करता है, बॉम्ब कुछ देता नहीं है किसी को, बॉम्ब किसी को शक्ति नहीं देता, शक्ति को भी खत्म कर देता है। तो बॉम्ब आपने चलाया है, आपको बधाई हो, क्या कह सकते हैं इसके अलावा? आपने ऐसा बॉम्ब चला दिया, एक्सप्लोजन तो हो ही चुका है, और आप समझते हैं आपने बहुत बड़ा काम किया है। ठीक है, आपकी समझ है, आपके भक्त समझते हैं बहुत बड़ा काम किया है। इंटरनेट पे जाके देखो क्या क्या बातें होती हैं। आप भूल जाते हैं देश आपके कहने से नहीं चलते, दुनिया आपके कहने से नहीं चलती, और भारत की जनता भी आपके कहने से नहीं चलती। एक डर कब तक कायम करेंगे आप? कब तक डराएंगे लोगों को? कब तक डराएंगे? ठीक है, कब तक लोगों को जेल डाल देंगे आप? कितना डाल देंगे आप? देश देश होता है, लोगों की इज्जत करो, समाज की इज्जत करो, कंस्ट्रक्टिव काम करो, ऐसे काम करो जिससे आपकी शान हो, आपके पास लोग आए, आपकी वैल्यू देख, देखो साहब ने ये काम कर लिया। लेकिन आप तो काम तोड़ तोड़ के करते हैं। बात कश्मीर की है, कश्मीर की जनता अब आप पे विश्वास नहीं करेगी, वो चीज़ नहीं रहेगी अब आपके लिए। बेशक आप कितना भी डैमेज कंट्रोल भी आप कर लेंगे, लेकिन वो चीज़ पैदा नहीं होगी। विश्वास आपने खो दिया है। मेरे हिसाब से तो भारत की जनता का विश्वास जो आपने खो दिया है। जो लोग समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं उनको खुश होने दो, तो जब समझेंगे तब तक बहुत देर हो चुकी होगी। और दुनिया में आप भी 500 साल जीने वाले नहीं हो, हर आदमी कितना जी सकता है, 80 साल 90 साल, उसके बाद भी आप जिस रूप से नेहरू को याद करते हैं, पब्लिक भी आपको उसी रूप से याद करेगी, आपको तो गारंटी के साथ याद करेगी उस रूप से। इसलिए ज़्यादा खुश मत हो, वोट तो आते जाते रहेंगे, आप सरकारें भी तोड़ते बनती रहेंगी, परमानेंट कुछ नहीं है इस दुनिया में। परमानेंट होता है तो आदमी की आत्मा होती है, और भारत की आत्मा आप तोड़ रहे हैं। आपके भक्त जो 30 साल 25 साल के, उनको तो समझ ही नहीं आ रहा आपने क्या किया है। मैंने बहुतों से पूछा इंटरनेट पे, भाई आपको इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ टैक्सेशन के बारे में मालूम है? नहीं मालूम है। वो कहते साहब आप बता दीजिए क्या होता है, समझा दीजिए। अरे भाई आपको मालूम ही नहीं है तो आप किस बात से खुश हो रहे हैं कि हमने ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया, हिस्टोरिकल रिकॉर्ड कर दिया। 99% लोगों को जो इंटरनेट यूज करते हैं इसका पता ही नहीं है कि ये क्या कहानी है, क्या किस्सा है, पीछे क्या बैकग्राउंड है, नहीं पता है। बस शोर मचाओ, 70 साल में हिस्टोरिकल काम हो गया। हाँ हिस्टोरिकल हो गया, हिस्टोरिकल बेवकूफ़ी हो गई। हिस्टोरिकल बेवकूफ़ी सही कहते हैं, बिना सोचे समझे काम करना। आप करो, सोच समझ के करो, कौन रोकता है। जब जूता पड़ा था ना हरि सिंह को, उसने भी सोच समझ के किया, नहीं तो वो भी नहीं कर रहा था, वो भी नहीं आना चाहता था। जब देखा जूता पड़ गया, सर पे पानी आ गया, अब कुछ नहीं मैं कर सकता, तो लिख के दे दो, ऐसे लिख के दे दो। बिना पिटाई कोई समझता नहीं। 3 महीने उसने ऐसे ही खराब कर दिए थे हरि सिंह ने भी, अगर आप पढ़ोगे इसकी पता लग जाएगा। थक गया क्या क्या कि हमारे लोग की आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ, नहीं मैं इंडिपेंडेंट रहूँगा, मैं आज़ाद रहूँगा, मैं आपके साथ नहीं आना चाहता हूँ मैं। लेकिन जब उसको इंडिपेंडेंट देखा कि नहीं हो सकता है, और पाकिस्तान के लोगों ने उसकी पिटाई कर दी, तब उसको समझ आया। पहले पाकिस्तान को उसने भी लिख के दे दिया था, आपको शायद पता नहीं होगा। भारत को तो बाद में लिख के दिया गया अंडर प्रेशर, जब फोर्स पड़ी। पहले पाकिस्तान को भी लिख के दिया था, और यही झगड़े की जड़ है। अगर आप लोगों को नहीं पता तो मैं बता देता हूँ। पहली राइटिंग पाकिस्तान को लिख के दी गई थी, पर सिलेक्शन नहीं हुआ था, और इसीलिए उन्होंने गुस्से में आके भेजे थे लोग कि पीटो उनको। जब पिटाई शुरू हो गई उसकी, वो सह नहीं पाया। दुकान लूट रही है, मकान लूट रहे हैं, औरतों का रेप हो रहा है, सामान लूटा जा रहा है, वो नहीं सह पाया, क्योंकि बेचारे के पास कुछ था नहीं डिफेंस के लिए। तब वो भारत की शक्ल देखने लगा। कितनी बार जवाहरलाल कह चुका था उससे, कितनी बार दूसरे सब नेता कह चुके थे, पटेल साहब कह चुके थे उससे, कोई देखो आ जाओ, बहुत हो गया। लेकिन समझ नहीं आया। राजा था ना वो भी, जब समझ आया तो जूता खाया। लिख के दिया, फटाफट लिख के दिया, पूछा भी नहीं किसी से, लिख के दे दो, ले दिया लिख के। उन्होंने भी एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, क्योंकि एक दिन का समय, रात रात की बात थी, नहीं करते तो फौज नहीं भेज सकते थे, यूएनओ को वायलेट नहीं कर सकते थे। ये मैसेज यूएनओ में भेजना होता है कि ये हमारी कंट्री के साथ है, हमारा पार्ट है। टेलीग्राफ से भेजो, जैसे ही भेजो, मैसेज भेजना होता है रेफरेंस दे के। इसलिए इनके पास भी टाइम नहीं था और उसके पास भी टाइम नहीं था। हाँ ये जरूर कहा था इन्होंने कि हम जैसे औरों के हमने रेफरेंडम कराए हैं, रायशुमारी कराई है, हम इनके भी करा देंगे। और इसी बात को माना गया, क्योंकि ये जरूरी था। आप किसी देश को देने के लिए उस देश की पब्लिक से तो पूछना ही पड़ेगा ना कि हम आ जाएं कि नहीं आ जाएं। अगर आज हम किसी दूसरे देश को लेते हैं तो वो देश अपनी पब्लिक से पूछ के ही तो आएगा कि मैं जाऊंगे नहीं जाऊं। और हम भी अगर किसी पब्लिक को जाते हैं, हम भी पूछ के जाएंगे भाई हम जाना चाहिए कि नहीं जाना चाहिए। जब तक पब्लिक नहीं चाहेगी तो आप कैसे दबंगी बन सकते हैं? वो तो फिर वो तो जबरदस्ती वाली बात हो गई कि आप इंट्रूडर हैं, आपने हमें इन्वेड किया है। पाकिस्तान इन्वेड किया कश्मीर को, तो कश्मीर को लगा डर, तब भागा वो भारत पे। भारत ने इन्वेड नहीं किया था कश्मीर को या पाकिस्तान को, भारत ने नहीं इन्वेड किया, अच्छा किया। और आज हम गाली देते हैं उसको। अरे शुक्र मनाओ कि वो हमारे पास एक्सेशन में तो आ गया, अगर नहीं करते तो पाकिस्तान में चला जाता, तब क्या करते आप? इन बातों को बारीकी से समझिए। ना तो मैं बीजेपी वाला हूँ, ना कांग्रेस वाला हूँ, मैं एक भारत वाला हूँ, अपने देश वाला हूँ। ये भारत देश ना तो कांग्रेस का है ना बीजेपी का है, ये भारत की पब्लिक का है, भारत की जनता का है। भारत की जनता इसकी स्वामी है। मैं और आप सब, हमें भारत के बारे में सोचना है। हमें बीजेपी के भारत के बारे में या आरएसएस के भारत के बारे में नहीं सोचना है। उनका तो भारत होता ही नहीं है, उनका तो हिंदुत्व होता है, उनका तो हिंदू राष्ट्र होता है। मैं हिंदू राष्ट्र में विश्वास नहीं रखता, मैं भारत में विश्वास रखता हूँ। मैं कृष्ण राम में विश्वास रखता हूँ। मैं इनके अरब वाले हिंद में विश्वास नहीं रखता। अरब में कहा जाता है अल हिंद, हिंदी अल हिंदी अरब का है, ये मुगल का है। हम मुगल में विश्वास नहीं रखते। मुगल मुसलमान नहीं होते, पहले ही अपने दिमाग से निकाल दो। गलत फहमी के शिकार हैं लोग। वो मुगल जिन्होंने राज किया, ये उसी खानदान से पैदा हुए हैं। अगर आप निशान देखेंगे इनके, और यहूदियों के एक ही निशान है, जाके देख लीजिए, चैलेंज है मेरा, आपको समझ ना आए तो। मुगलों का निशान देख लीजिए, जाके किसी भी पुराने पुराने लाल किले पे देख लीजिए, किसी यहाँ पर जो बने हुए हैं उसी पे देख लीजिए, और डबल ट्राइंगल के निशान आपको मिलेंगे, और वही निशान इजराइल के हैं। बात को समझिए, जड़ कहाँ है। हमारे को गलत बताया गया सब कुछ, रिसर्च करके देखेंगे तो सही समझ आएगा। ये हिंदू की बीमारी दिमाग से निकाल दीजिए। हिंदू हिंदू कुछ होता नहीं है। भारत है, भारत में धर्म शास्त्र है, धर्म चलता है भारत में, जिसका कोई नाम नहीं है, जिसको हम कहते हैं अपने आप को, जिसको बाद में हिंदू कहा आपने, उसके बेस पे हिंदू कहा, जबकि हिंदू आप नहीं है। खैर छोड़िए, मुझे ना, मैं उस बात पे ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं खराब करना चाहता आपका भी और हमारी। बात जो मैंने कहनी थी कह दी है, अभी आपकी मर्जी है, आप क्या समझते हैं इस बात को, समझते भी हैं कि नहीं समझते हैं। नहीं समझेंगे तो मेरा कुछ जा नहीं रहा और आपको कुछ मिल नहीं रहा, इसलिए बात को मैं यही ख़त्म करूँगा, क्योंकि आप ज़्यादा बात करने का फ़ायदा नहीं है। आपने सोचना है सोचिए, इन कागजों को पढ़ना है पढ़िए, कुछ रिसर्च करिए, कुछ झोंकिए अपने लिए, किसी की बात में मत आइए। बेवकूफ़ लोग हैं, बेवकूफ़ बात करते हैं, आप बेवकूफ़ मत बनिए। आप बात करिए तो कागज़ के साथ कीजिए। बड़े बड़े लोगों ने पार्लियामेंट में बातें की हैं, अच्छा लगा कि चलो गुलाम नबी ने बातें की है, कपिल सिब्बल ने बात की है, चिदम्बरम ने बात की है, पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, समझदार हैं, ना कानून जानते हैं, नियम जानते हैं। अच्छा लगा कि चलो कुछ पब्लिक को बताया तो सही, लेकिन ये लोग तो गुमराह करने में कोई कसर नहीं छोड़ते। किसी बीजेपी वाले ने बातें इसके बारे में नहीं की है, वो बस अपनी ही धुन में है, बस हम हैं जो कुछ है, हम मालिक हैं इस देश के, आप सब भाड़ में जाओ। अब इतना कह के मैं इस बात को बंद करता हूँ। जय भारत, नमस्कार आप सबको। जय भारत, जय संविधान।